Graham here, living the dream in November 2025. I know it's been a while, guys, but I thought that I would do a little channel update for you this morning. It's hard getting this in with one hand, and tell you about the next adventure coming up in the channel.
Hi, I'm Graham, and this is my wife Fiona, and we have always had a work hard, play hard philosophy. From London to New York, and of course the Caribbean, we live our dream through travel. And of course, the odd cocktail. And here on YouTube, we create our memories while living our dream. So come and join us as we share our memories with you.
Fiona and I always knew that 2025 was going to be a tough year for us. As I said in the last channel update before our trip to Tenerife, Fiona had some surgery at the end of March. It was a very long recovery for that surgery, but luckily the surgery was completely successful. That then allowed us to go and do Tenerife 25, which was our 10 days, 10 nights in Tenerife back in July. But the second we were back from Tenerife, Fiona had her second surgery. It was potentially a much more serious operation, but a much shorter recovery time. And I'm glad the recovery time was short, and even more importantly, the surgery was 100% successful. Shortly after she recovered, or while during her recovery, her father's health went downhill quite rapidly, and unfortunately in August this year, Fiona lost her dad, which really has thrown the rest of our 2025 into, let's just say, a different focus. As most of you know who follow the channel on a regular basis, Fiona and I, for as long as we can really remember, certainly going back 15 to 17 years, have always used the October half-term break to go away somewhere really nice and hot, setting us up for the winter. This year, guys, that simply hasn't been possible. We're now into November, but the year isn't over yet, and we have something planned for you. So I'm going to quickly make a cup of coffee and tell you a little bit about our next adventure. Okay guys, a cup of coffee in hand. It's time to tell you a little bit about our next adventure. Simply going to be called Lanzarote 25. I know, not very imaginative. And it's also a series, guys, that I really wasn't sure I wanted to make. Do you really want to see another review of Jet 2 from Glasgow down to the Canary Islands, the second this year, in one of their old 737-800s with those incredibly uncomfortable seats? You probably don't. But I suppose the question is, do you want to see if Jet 2 can still perform in the winter season? Yeah, well, you'll just have to continue watching the series if you want to find that out. But more importantly, I kept asking myself the question that I have done for a long time regarding these videos, whether I should continue making them or not. I don't do them for money. I've never made a penny from YouTube or YouTube videos. I continue to make these videos as a memory, a reminder of Fiona's and my life together, and the thing about our life we enjoy the most, which is of course travel. So the net result is, of course, I'm going to make the Lanzarote 25 series here on the channel. I've got absolutely no clue how good or how bad this series is going to be, because as you heard earlier, we're flying down to Lanzarote on Jet 2, another Jet 2 review, but also we're staying at the Pico's Playa, which is a hotel Fiona and I stayed at for 5 nights 2 years ago. I think it was 2 years ago. I'll have a look and check that up shortly. Not the most exciting hotel in the world, but let me tell you guys that it was a pretty sweet deal on the Jet 2 website. So by the time this very short channel update and introduction to Lanzarote 25 airs. Hopefully Fiona and I will be enjoying a little bit of winter heat. Wouldn't be much harder to be warmer than southwest Scotland at the moment. We had our first ice on the cars yesterday morning, and it's without a doubt just going to go downhill from here onwards, even if I could speak this morning, until the spring arrives in March and April of 2026. That brings me to 2026. We are planning to do a little bit more travel in 2026, and all goes to plan, I will bring you another channel update on our plans for 2026, either at the end of this year or very early into next year. But so far we're looking at I'm looking at another Men Behaving Badly trip, board meeting sometime late January, early February. The guys were talking about South Florida, Miami, Fort Lauderdale area. Something I've wanted to do for a long time and I've not done since 1993, I think. So, good grief, quite a few years ago, was take a trip down to Key West, and I know the guys would like to do that after our business meetings. That then leads us into May, and my birthday weekend at the beginning of May. We've booked tickets to go and see Luke Combs at the University of Tennessee Stadium. And you're probably asking, why the heck are you going to Tennessee to see Luke Combs when you could go to see him in Edinburgh? The honest truth is, guys, Tennessee's a lot more fun than Edinburgh for us. The weather's going to be a lot nicer, I hope. But more importantly, the tickets in Tennessee were less than a quarter of the price that they were charging in Edinburgh. If we were prepared to travel economy to Knoxville to go and see Luke Combs from our home airport in Glasgow, it probably would be just as cheap to go and see Luke Combs in Tennessee as it would be to go and see him in Edinburgh. I know, the world has gone mad. That takes us to July, and our eldest son Matthew gets married in early July. Fiona and I have sort of committed that after Matthew and Tia's wedding, we will probably go off somewhere to relax. But we have our very significant wedding anniversary coming up this time next year, and we're planning something pretty big. I had considered, and it's still a very minute possibility, that we may try the Queen Mary 2 from Southampton to New York, if that is at all possible, in the October-November timeframe, 2026. But the other big change in my life this year has been I took over the CEO position of the company in the States back in January, and my work life has been crazy busy throughout 2025. I would need to be very, very careful if I could completely disconnect from the business for 8 days crossing the Atlantic. I'm not sure I can. I therefore got to look at the potential of internet packages to do that. And I know it seems absolutely ridiculous. I have not switched off on holiday from work since I don't know when. I think the last holiday that I completely switched off was back in July, August 2009, I think. And since then, running small businesses, being disconnected is simply not a possibility. So if you work in the corporate world, or you work in a public sector job, you're very, very lucky that you can go on holiday and completely switch off, something I simply have not been able to do in my work life over the last few years. So guys, to conclude this very short channel update and introduction to Lanzarote 25, I'm just going to end by saying our passports are ready, our boarding passes are printed, and in the next episode, in a couple of weeks' time, you'll be joining Fiona and I as we make the trip on board Jet 2 again from Glasgow down to Lanzarote. Thanks for watching. And don't forget, if you want to continue to follow Fiona and I as we enjoy Lanzarote 25, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and press the bell icon to be notified when our next video is published. Again, thank you so much for watching.